rabbis of yesteryear. Now, today I want to speak about a famous rabbi, Rabbi Daniel Ades Z'tl Libracha. He passed away actually on June the 28th in the year 2020. He was a very great rabbi of his time. I believe he was born, I think approximately in the year 1935, was great rabbi of his time. I think, to be precise, the Hebrew date was actually Vav Tammuz, so it was this month. We are still in the month of Tammuz, so I thought I would say a few words about him, especially that his father's yahrzeit was only a few days ago. Rabbi Ya'akov Ades, who we've spoken about on various occasions before. It was his Hilula only from the time of recording over here, only a few days ago. We're going to speak about his father also towards the end of the class, but we're concentrating on the great rabbi, Rabbi Daniel Ades, who was a great rabbi of his time. He passed away June 28, 2020, was born, I think, on the 1st of January in the year 1935. Naturally, he was born in Jerusalem, and he came from great rabbinic auspices. His father's name was Rabbi Yaakov Chai Tzion Ades. His mother's name was Rabbanit Esther Chaya Ades, from the great family, or the rabbinic family of the Harari Raful, respectively. Now, it's interesting. His grandfather was also a great rabbi, Rabbi Abraham Haim Ades. He lived between the years 1848 to 1925. His grandmother's name was Rabbanit Salah. She happened to be the daughter of Rabbi Moshe Sved, who happened to have been the rabbi of Aleppo. It's interesting. His grandfather, Rabbi Abraham Ades, was a Kabbalist. He was great Hacham. He was an author, and he was the teacher of many great Sephardic Torah leaders, such as Rabbi Yosef Yedida Levi, Rabbi Ezra Hamui, Rabbi Yaakov Katzin, Rabbi Shlomo Laniada, and the famous Rabbi Ezra Atiyah, who we're going to speak about in the coming minutes. So he was a great rabbi of his time. Rabbi Daniel had great brothers also, including Rabbi Abraham Haim Ades and Rabbi Ezra Nissim Ades, and various other great, it was a really, really great family. So it's interesting. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the famous rabbi's life. We've actually mentioned him, I think, in a few times in several different videos, respectively. So it was towards the start of the month of Tammuz, back in the year 2020, when he passed away. He would serve many years as a director of Yeshivat Kol Yaakov. I think that was very much connected to his brother, Rabbi Yehuda Ades. This yeshiva was in of itself, and he would. This was a very prominent yeshiva. Maybe we're going to speak about towards the end of the class. He would maintain the yeshiva, take care of it. He would travel to various different places, especially many destinations, to help the yeshiva, mitzchazek it, let's just say, strengthen people all over the world, giving lectures, doing kiruv. He was notable for great qualities, and he had a hirat shamayim and was really, really brilliant. Various different rabbonim would actually tell that his modesty and his humility and the gashmiut in this world was nothing. He would maintain the yeshiva. He would study for many, many hours, just ratzuf, without getting up. And everyone that would speak to him would realize the greatness within regards to the righteousness of the generation he really was. And I think his family might have maybe lived in the Beit Vegan neighborhood, but he left behind, I believe, many righteous generations and descendants of great Rabbanim, respectively. More can be said in regards to his greatness. As we said before, we mentioned many members of the great Ades family, respectively. I think the actual dates when he was born, if I'm not mistaken, was the 26th of Tevet of that specific year, 1935. Remember, his father, Rabbi Yaakov Chai Ades, was, I believe, the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Parat Yosef at that point in time, and he was great. He was a member of the Great Rabbinical Court and a member of the Chief Rabbinic Council, respectively. And this yeshiva, Kol Yaakov, is based in Beit Vegan, a great yeshiva, known as one of the highest level, you could say, Sephardic yeshivot, without a doubt, across the world. He would run round to various different places. He would be corresponding with many of the great Torah scholars within regards to, and Gvirim, the philanthropists, to help the yeshiva be in very, very good stead, let's just say here. He wanted to make sure the attendance of the Avrahim was second to none, that Torah learning was at a premium level, but the quality of the Avrahim were brilliant, and that they were all fine and they were all taken care of. He was a simple man. I think he lived in, it's reported lived in a rented apartment, if I'm not mistaken, and he was known as one of the hidden Tzaddikim, without a doubt. He would it's reported over he'd have a suit and a hat he would wear and study Torah with all his might. I believe, interestingly enough, he would leave the yeshiva much of the day. He would study Torah at the famous Shoshanim LeDavid Bet Midrash. This was and he was very close, I think, to the Chabura, let's just say, of Rav David Naki, if I'm not mistaken. And this is very, we've spoken about the Beit Midrash of Shoshanim LeDavid on various occasions before. There was many rabbis that were very close to him had a very close connection. I think especially Rav Yecheskel Shavo, specifically. He obviously a very great rabbi, I think, was close to him for many years. And he actually reported over to the Hadrei Haridim websites, from the ultra-Orthodox flagship websites, let's just say himself. For 45 years, he would help, let's just say a specific story, come to a family of orphans to help assist with the children after the father had passed away. And he was constantly in contact with many of the people and was very righteous. He would go on to leave, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think 11 children, sons and daughters, son-in-laws. He'd have many son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, I believe, in generations that are really following a great path in Torah with absolutely greatness in of itself. So I think he passed away. It was, I think it was the 6th of Tammuz, if I'm not mistaken, when he passed away back in the year 2020. So we're talking about 5 years ago here from the time of recording. And I think his funeral was, the Levi was on Vav Tammuz. I'm not sure if it was a Hey Tammuz or not a day before when he passed away. It was actually a Sunday, I think. And I think he was buried in Har Menuchot, the Mount of Rest Cemetery in Jerusalem, respectively. So he was a very much a great rabbi of his time. I reckon everyone to learn more within regards to him. And we can explore a bit within regards to his family life also. So just going back to his father, Rabbi Ya'akov Ades, we spoke about how he was head of rabbinical court. He was Rosh Yeshiva, Yeshivat Porat Yosef, and he was a rabbi of many great Talmidim, especially Chacham Ovadia Yosef, Rabbi Ben Zion Abba Shaul, and Rabbi Yehuda Kohen Rabin, who would go on to become the chief rabbi of the Bukharian Jewry in Israel. His father passed away, I believe, on July the 19th in the year 1963. He was, I think, 65 years of age, and he actually, his father would be attended in Yeshivat Ohel Moed under the great rabbis Rabbi Yosef Yedida Levi and Shlomo Laniada, respectively. And he was also a Maggid Shir, and very much he lived at the time period where the state was formed. He had close connection. His father did Rabbi Yaakov Meir, who happened to be the Rishon LeZion, the chief rabbi. He would sit in the Sephardic Bet Din of Tel Aviv. He was rabbi of Syrian synagogue in Tel Aviv, and arguably one of the most famous rabbis, especially since the formation of Medinat Yisrael. And it was close connection with many of the Ashkenazi, great Lithuanian rabbis also. There's actually a famous picture of his father, Rabbi Ya'akov Ades, sitting in the Bet Din court along with Rabbi Ovadia Hodaya and also famous Rabbi Betzalel Zolti, who was a famous Lithuanian rabbi. I think he was an Ashkenazic chief rabbi, if I'm not mistaken. And that we have to point out also. So very interesting. He would lead great descendants, Rabbi Daniel Ades Z'tl. And I would recommend everyone to learn more within regards to the great rabbi. And there's much more that can be said also within regards to him. There's many articles, especially on various Haredi websites such as Kikar HaShabbat, especially, and Haredim. I think there's a JDN website also, which will also say over much within regards to the legacy of him also. I believe his wife's name was Rabbanit Leah, and had many great grandchildren, really following the incredible legacy of his great-grandfather and the great-great-grandfather, because it really was a rabbinic dynasty. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. Now, if you descend from any of the great chachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe now to the channel. We are nearing a staggering 7,000 subscribers, so we are very fast growing at the moment, and just slowly but surely. Also, if you descend from any of the great rabbinim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information about them. And also, this is a channel. We're not just recording videos on the great rabbis of yesteryear. We're doing daily tidbits on the Daf Yomi, which you have to point out also. We also have an inspirational rabbi every single day that gives over some chizuk for the entire Am Yisrael and really inspire. I just want to say just a quick word in regards to Yeshivat Kol Ya'akov, which is based in Beit Vegan also. I think that was has had in recent times as many as 250 Talmidim, if I'm not mistaken. We actually did a whole video with in regards to Yeshivat Kol Ya'akov, so I recommend everyone to look at it. Originally it was a smallish yeshiva, but it's really, really grown and to a great level. And I think yeshiva was run by many great rabbis, including Rabbi Yitzchak Greenwald, Rabbi Ariel Harel, Rabbi Yitzchak Dimitrowski, various great rabbis, especially from this yeshiva, which he was very much managing. The yeshiva graduates include Rabbi Aryeh Deri, the head of the Shas political party. Other rabbis, Rabbi Barachia Spinka, if I'm not mistaken, he was the head of the Tiferet Talmud Yeshiva. Some ultra-Orthodox journalist, Yaakov Rivlin, for example. Rabbi Ophir Malka, a rabbi, a lecturer on halachic topics, for example. He happens to be on radio programs. Also, the famous singer Yishai Lapidot, and also Rabbi Asher Hamoy, I think Rosh Yeshiva of Avnei Nezer, will be notable students over there. So that's an extra tidbit. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom. Subscribe to the channel and have a great day, everyone. Thanks, everyone.